The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. All four passengers of the Cessna 340 plane that crashed in Albay over the weekend have been found dead. Kamalig Albay Mayor Carlos Erwin Baldo confirmed this update, adding that they have now shifted from rescue to retrieval operations. The aircraft had 4 people on board, including 2 Australian consultants to Energy Development Corporation.
Nakakuha na po yung mga bangkay doon sa taas, kaya po retrieval na kami ngayon. Nandun po na sa site naman, pero hindi talaga mapunta ng matao nung nakarang araw kasi kahirapan po talaga makyat.
Baldo said they hope to retrieve the bodies within the day despite having difficulties reaching the crash site.
May proseso po yung gagawin. Hindi naman sila sabay-sabay neighbor isa-isa. So, yung pagkuha nga, may kukuha ng pa yung picture, yung kung saan nakalagay, para may ayun. Tapos yung mga gamit, na pwedeng may sabay doon na rin sa body bag nila, ikukuha po yun, i-ayos po yun.
The Agriculture Department maintains there is no irregularity in the arrival of sugar imports before the release of Sugar Order Number 6. This comes after Senator Risa Hontiveros called for an investigation into the 260 container units that arrived on February 9 under All Asian Countertrade Incorporated. That's 6 days before the Sugar Regulatory Administration released an official order. However, Agriculture Undersecretary Domingo Panganiban says he interpreted an earlier memorandum from the Executive Secretary to import sugar as a sugar order itself.
In response to the directive of the President to address inflation and create a buffer stock, and given that sugar as one of the components of most commodities that drives the consistently high inflation rate, I acted with haste and interpreted the memorandum issued by the Office of the Executive Secretary as an approval to proceed with the importation. I consider it as a sugar order already because it was a directive from the Executive Secretary.
Meanwhile, Hontiveros maintained there was an irregularity in the shipment. This after a reporter raised that the SRA said that the senator may have gotten Sugar Order Number 6 confused with the shipment coming in under the minimum access volume mechanism. Hontiveros says that if the SRA were correct, it would open up new problems. This as the shipment arrived on February 9, 4 days before the DA said it still had no guidelines for the minimum access volume.
Dapat walang ganyang klasing gaslighting sa usapin ng, kasi kitang-kita sa usapin ng listed importers, saka yung amount, ibang-iba sa dalawang sistema. Dadagdagan pa ba yung pagkakamali at pagkukulang nila? Una, may di umanong nasa smuggle na asukal, wala pang finalized SO. Pangalawa, may nakapasok daw na MAV, wala pang guidelines.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. President Bongbong Marcos says his administration is reviewing Executive Order number 138, which lays down the guidelines for the full devolution of local government units. EO 138 was issued by former President Rodrigo Duterte in consonance with the 2018 Mandanas ruling. Under the Supreme Court decisions, LGUs are entitled to a bigger share of government revenue while transferring or devolving more functions to them from national government agencies.
We are examining, asahan ninyo, as I said, that we are taking very seriously the issues that have come out from the Mandanas ruling and how we will implement it.
Marcos Jr. said they have a year for the review for the 2024 target for the so-called full devolution of LGUs.
Gagamitin ngayon namin itong 1 year na ito para pag-aralan ng mabuti yung 138. Tignan natin na siguro may mga function kasi na binibigay sa local, hindi naman dapat sa local talaga eh.
The Tourism Department condemned the killing of a tourist from New Zealand by riding in tandem suspects in Makati. According to the investigation, the tourist was walking in Makati with his partner when two robbers pulled up on a motorcycle. The tourist was shot dead in his attempt to protect his partner. After identifying the suspects, authorities launched a manhunt. The Tourism Department assured that it is working with authorities on the matter. The agency has also reached out to the concerned embassy to lend the necessary assistance. The department assured that the incident is not reflective of the Filipino people as a whole and vowed to ensure to maintain peace and security for tourists visiting the country. Senator Bato de la Rosa hits the European Parliament for allegedly forcing Western standards upon the Philippine government. This after what de la Rosa described to be an intense meeting between the European Parliament Subcommittee on Human Rights and Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights. During the meeting, the Parliament expressed hopes that the International Criminal Court's investigation into the bloody war on drugs would push through. The senator said he was forced to raise his voice after the Spanish delegate questioned the resolution which sought to defend former President Rodrigo Duterte from the ICC.
Bakit naman pati yung pa-file ng resolution ng isang senador, questionin pa niya? That is too much of tinkering with our internal affairs. Human rights violations were committed by your people for 300 years. Ngayon, you are going to lecture us about human rights? How dare you?
Respective committees, however, recalled the discussion differently.
Kasi yung taga-Spain, may interpreter. Kailangan talagang magtaas ng boses yon kasi hindi marunong mag-Ingles. So yung interpreter, papasa yung mic, lalakasan yung boses. So wala naman taasan ng boses.
I would say it was not tense, but it was open and a critical discussion that in the end I think was more constructive than tense.
Defense Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. spoke with his U.S. counterpart Lloyd Austin over concerning developments in the South China Sea. Among those discussed by the two defense chiefs is the recent incident in which China pointed a military-grade laser at a Philippine Coast Guard ship. Austin reiterated U.S.'s commitment to support the Philippines' lawful rights in the West Philippine Sea. Austin and Galvez also discussed proposals to deepen operational cooperation and enhance the shared security of the two nations. Meanwhile, the Philippines and Australia are considering joint patrols in the West Philippine Sea. Australian Defense Minister Richard Marles confirmed this in a joint press briefing with Galvez. The two discussed plans to strengthen security ties, and one way to achieve this is to joint maritime patrols in the disputed waters.
As countries which are committed to the global rules-based order, it is natural that we should think about ways in which we can cooperate in this respect. And so we did talk today about the possibility of exploring joint patrols, and we will continue that work, and we hope that that comes to fruition soon.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register an account now at signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.